Okay, so basically when we look at the tree of terror, the foundation of Western society, democracy, demos means peasant. Demos is also a deity of dread and terror. Okay? The son of Ares or Mars, and Aphrodite or Venus. Venus, the morning star, Lucifer magazine, the kind of feminist version of the morning star. A good candidate for Lucifer. There's a bunch of them. Lucifer basically is just image, just a way to make the devil look good by making everybody look bad, including the people that work for him, to kind of confuse you about what evil looks like. And certainly there's an emphasis on the African martial art order. That's obviously why Africans are the most despised people in society, if you pay close attention. We look at, so let's just, Phobos, feelings of fear and panic. There were, so Phobos and Deimos, or moons of Mars, attendants of Ares or Mars, along with Enyo, war, bloodshed, destruction, especially destruction of cities, Ares, strife. And the dragon symbolizes chaotic passion. So we look at the void. It left a void inside of them, mind, body, and soul, because they're connected. Okay, and spirit, right? The void, the absence of spirit, the separation of heaven and earth. So one must note that the heavens and earth were separated when Chaos, the first deity that is recognized in the Greek system, started the system of Greek mythology and is said to start Western culture. The West came from a separation of the African martial art order, and eventually people from the Middle East, the followers of Set especially, who was associated with Apep. So both of them were deities of chaos from Egypt, and they represented, Set was eventually awarded land in the Middle East in various versions of mythology, Egyptian mythology. So they went from there through Crete, okay, where Zeus is said to be born, and they kind of, through the Minoans and the Mycenaeans, established the foundation of Western civilization, okay, one way or another. And the philosophers and Homer and so on and so forth, they resemble the Jews, and there's some kind of connection there. To me, it really doesn't matter. What matters is it's over. I do see the Queen is connected to this. Look at the way she looks. Look at how she resembles when in her younger days of Vin Diesel and so on and so forth. We see the celebrities, the who's who of the world, in the eyes of idiots who are socially normative conformists, tend to resemble the Jews. And so they're basically seen as people that there's a mix between a white people and a Semitic people who followed Set, who cultivated themselves perhaps the most effectively in the West, in Greece and so on, in Rome and so on. So chaos as a result, and the void as a result of the separation of heaven and earth. Then it gets us Gaia. Now Gaia is key in this because it's the gay IA. It's the worldly kind of perspective. Okay, Gaia has children. They include Tartarus, Eros, Erebus, and Nyx. Okay, so Eros is, the West's idea of love is nonsense. If you think about it, there's a bunch of evil people in America, in the West, all over the world that follow this kind of Western kind of foundation, kind of construct when they say they're in love. Most people are too shallow to even begin to feel love, much less fall in love, much less to have love in their short lifetime. When you're a shallow fuck, to achieve the kind of most significant state of human existence, second only really to, so the second most significant to righteous indignation, it's not going to happen. How can an evil person achieve love or righteous indignation? They don't. So what they call love is really erotic desire and conformity to the psychological construct. So what we see, and it also goes back to Psyche with the trance, and Eros is a little kid, a little bitch kid, okay, who's seen as love. So Eros is this baby, is a baby born out of chaos and worldliness. Chaos brought Gaia, who brought you worldliness, and the siblings are darkness, night, and the abyss. The abyss, Tartarus, darkness, Erebus, and Nyx, night. So how can the darkness of night, of course, knight in shining armor, not quite, a rapist, a murderer, a liar, okay, how can darkness, night, and abyss be related, the siblings of Eros? Well, look at the families in Western culture. Go to your restaurant. Look at families. They're almost exactly like each other. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. The tree is worldliness. It is worldly to live in the abyss. It is worldly. Worldliness leads to the abyss. It leads to this fake kind of love. It leads to the darkness. It leads to the night. So chaos leads to worldliness, which leads to the abyss, This fake love, darkness and night, it's pretty much a combination of things that we're going to see in society when people are worldly. Okay, you're going to see the spirit of darkness, right? The night, the confusion, the evil, and so on and so forth. So the abyss is said to Tartarus marry Gaia, mate with Gaia, and bring us typhoon, storms. And typhoon is said to be a form of Set. So chaos is synonymous with Set, and typhoon is said to be another name for Set. That's how strong the connections are. Set and Apep gave you Western culture. Okay, so when we look at Gaia, the Earth, okay, Mother Earth, this Earth goddess, also has Uranus, the sky, Aurea, the mountains, and Pontus, the sea, as children. Okay, and we'll get to that momentarily. The Titans and so on. So then we have Erebus and Nyx, brother and sister, right? They mate, and they give us Aether, heaven, and Hemera, day. Don't you see there's a problem here? How can heaven be separated from earth in the chaos, and then darkness and night mix together and give you the ether, right? The ether, which is heaven, and Hemera, which is day. Isn't that stupid? You can tell by the way they describe things that it's illusion. They're not talking about true love. They're not talking about true heaven. And they're not talking about truly the day or winning the day. Nyx night also has a plethora, a whole bunch of children, which include Moros, doom, Onuria, dreams, nemesis, retribution, Momus, blame, Philotis, affection, Gerus, aging, Thanatos, death, Hypnos, sleep, right? Hypnotic, hypnotize, right? Gnosis, right? Knowledge, right? Sleep. You're asleep. What the fuck can you know if you're asleep? Some fucking stupid shit. Some fantasy, daydreaming, bitch shit that they're talking about when they're talking about Gnosis, Sophia, and knowledge. They're talking about worldly, sleeping, pan, backwards, nap, all bitch shit. All the bitch shit together equals Western culture. Okay. Aries, strife. Apate, deceit. O is this, distress, and Morea, and carries whatever kind of bitch shit they represent. Okay. Now don't you see, nothing good. The foundation of Western culture is nothing good. Even what they call good is evil. Love, it's erotic sex. How can you compare the passionate, divine lovemaking with some kind of erotic sex and call that love? And the feeling one has when their dick is hard, when they see some slut, love. Absolute garbage. I don't care what kind of drugs you give them, men. I don't care what kind of chemistry you're doing. What kind of magic spell they're under. What kind of witchcraft. Okay? That is not love. And women who settle for that, I want nothing to do with, and neither does God. They are cowards. They are stupid. They are stupid, stupid, stupid. And the more they call themselves educated and demand you respect their mind, the more stupid and unwise and immature and Eros-like Cupid. Oh, Eros and Psyche. Oh, it's love. Oh, they're kids. How can you define love as this childish bitch shit that came as a result of chaos and worldliness? That is not love. Using Cupid arrows, right? Injecting you with drugs and substances into your food and into the water does not create love. I hate to tell you this, Cinderellas in America. You do not have love. There is no love outside the divine order. If you don't live in reality, you can have true love. If you do not live in truth, you cannot have true love. And if you're outside of the divine order, you're living a lie. The martial art order is the divine order. And I'm not talking about Eastern martial arts. I'm talking about the source. I'm talking about Ari. I'm talking about Horus, son of Ra. Okay? With all due respect. I could explain about hand-me-down stuff and liars convincing other people to lie and people adding their lie to this and it coming back to the West and there's more lies. A priceless example of how you have been misled by other martial arts systems is mental health. How can white people, with all due respect, I'm not racist, I'm part white. How can white people claim to be the authorities on Buddhism and on IQ squared or whatever the fuck it was? They say, oh, a deeper materialism as a Buddhist angle. How can you have white people usurping the Buddhist order and saying they are the experts and selling the most videos and so on and so on? It's garbage. Okay? And of course, they in turn usurp the other Buddhists, right? Shaolin Kung Fu Buddhist monastery, kind of Shaolin monastery, right? Buddhism and Kung Fu. Shaolin show line. Okay, that's the line. They are on the line, okay? They aren't on one side or the other. When you start using sages and mages and bitches, you are sinking into the abyss. When you hand it to the sons of Satan, Pluto, the rich, Hades, Pluto means the rich. The rich is beneath the earth, the gold standard, the money, the cash, Juno, the mint. Okay, when you hand it to the whores that ride the beast and the devil themselves, you have sunk to an all-time low. They do not have any kind of profound spiritual answers for you. All they have is evil bitch shit and the rantings of insane people. Think about it. How can Nyx breed with darkness when by her and give you heaven and day, when by herself she gave you doom, dreams, retribution, blame, affection, affection from night, aging. I mean, just come on. These people are liars, and they spell it out for you in their myths. If these people really cared about their culture and they're proud of it, why don't they look into the foundation of their culture? Well, Western, Greco-Roman mythology, that's where you get Western culture, especially in America where it's like a melting pot of white people, right? How many white people take the time to say, oh, yeah, I got to make sure, I got to check my family tree before I date you. Are you Irish? Are you German? No, they kind of mix together. And they accept the foundation as being Greco-Roman and Greek societies in college, and the days of the week, the Greco-Roman gods, and so on and so forth. Okay? How can you, and of course mixed with the Norse deities, kind of the Roman kind of amalgamation and syncretism and so on and so forth. How could you not see it this way? Of course it's evil. You shouldn't even need to look at this thing to know it's evil. Women shouldn't have to look into Greco-Roman mythology to know that their culture in America is evil, and that what they have isn't love. And that love is worth dying for. Then you have Romeo and Juliet, right? The message of the story, you stupid Western harlot, is love is worth betraying your family, quote unquote, and dying for. You put it above life itself, above family. You're an idiot if you don't see it that way, especially if you come from a family that bred you in the spirit of deceit, in the spirit of chaos, in the worldly energy of Gaia. I mean, you shouldn't have to be a martial artist to understand this and to be upset and sensitive enough to it to not go along with this Western social control and this stupid conditioning that you're going through. People are insane to subject themselves to a system of chaos, worldly garbage, darkness, night, and the abyss. And erotic sex at the same time. Oh, it's fucking stupid. That's the kind of stupidity that I deal with in America, that I deal with on the planet Earth. That kind of stupidity. Okay? If you think they know the top martial arts when they see them, you're an idiot. Okay? They need it spelled out to them to a large degree, and they need everybody rolling with it for them to accept it as truth. Not only do they need it told to them in a way that nobody can deny, but they need everyone to concede that it's true. That's the kind of bitch that I'm talking about. And you still don't understand the kind of slime that I am describing, who are the governing class, or you would join me in the true spirit of God. Thank you.